Hello, my name is Richard Taylor of Sounds Personal Productions, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. William Ring Ayuel. He's one of the original Lost Boys, and he's here to tell his story. So we just want you to sit back and enjoy this story, eyewitness from Mr. William Ring Ayuel.
Walan maragi ngare wenang uyungo dirodiak nunem ke nunem da ya wene yang makwe manur babol bayit de wadang atik ne geloy ejing ajamat rom so
How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
All right, that's good. So today we're here to tell the story of the Lost Boys. And why do you want to tell this story?
I want people to know about Lost Boy. That's why I'm here, to tell a story about Lost Boy.
Okay, and what is it that you want people to know about Lost Boy?
The problem that we're facing the time we left our home. And that's why I want to tell people want to know exactly this happened or it's not happened.
Okay, so we're thankful in that we get the privilege of doing this interview. So, first of all, I do have a question. Tell me about your family. Tell me about what family means to you right now.
When I think about it, all that the Lord has done for me, He brings me joy. Think about it, so much joy. When I think about it, all that the Lord has done for me, He brings me joy. Think about it, so much joy. To tell the truth, sometimes it feels like I might lose my mind. Sometimes life can be so.
Yes, my childhood, I still remember we were attacked by lion with my mom at home, and I was 2 years old. And my daddy was where they keep the cattle is like 3 hours away, and me and my mom was at home, and my auntie, and it was like June or September, something September, yeah, where they have all the grass and all the corn there around us, around the house. And one night the lion, because he didn't hear the sound of the man in the house and only the sound of the woman in the house, and he started like, when something coming, you can hear like touching the corn, sorghum, that why he come through. And my mom take the cow. They have the big house that you keep like 5 or 10 cow, and my mom took me, like he taking the cow inside, but he hearing something, and he go and put me inside where they keep the cattle, and he bring a cow inside, but he still the lion is still coming and making like he touched the coin, which is the coin making noise, and my mom hear, and my mom closed the cow house, and he put me in the middle of between the door and her, and he closed the house, and then we walked to the room. When we went to the room, it didn't take long, but my mom know. He put me, they have like second floor inside, they built something that you can go up, and my mom put me up, and my auntie too. He put two of us up, and my mom say in the door, he closed it. They have like traditional door that there are two, and then they have like stick to lock it, and my mom, he say in the door, and he have all the material there to protect, and the lion come and took the one of door. He took it out.
Wow.
And my mom put that one, the one that remained, put it, and my mom told my auntie to make like chanting, somebody can come and help, and my mom in the door. My mom say, he say, he's not gonna like the lion go and eat her before he eat her, and he stay in the door, and he stay in the door until morning. And when it's morning, my uncle came, because the lion didn't go inside, he was outside.
Wow.
Because my mom was still in the door, and he have all protection that he can hit the lion on head before he coming in. And when my uncle came in the morning, he cried. And he came, he called my mom name, and he said, yeah, alive. And my mom said, yeah, he asked for me too. And because my uncle see the lion walking around the compound, and his food on the floor, which is he have like rain, and you can see the food on the floor, and the
footprints.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my uncle, he was crying because my mom, he was not serious, which is the lion can come and eat her. And my uncle bring another people to the house.
Wow.
And when at night they have one guy, I think my mom know, and he come from somewhere, and he say he gonna sleep, and my mom say okay. She put with that room that where were attacked by lion. He put that guy and the others, the people that my uncle bring, and then the same night she do it again, and then the man come out there, because the man didn't stay inside. When she took the lock out, and the man come out there, and that's why he ran.
The lion ran.
The lion ran. That's why I still remember. And my mama repeat when I went back in 2009. He repeat that story to me.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really something. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I mean, that's really something. But I do have a question as I understand. So you were saying that the lion was able to sense that there was no men around. He was able to sense that.
Yeah, the lion was especially scaring, like when the people growing corn and sorghum and grass is growing, and that is scared, and people you cannot live in house by yourself. Maybe they're gonna attack you, and that's why they can like bring five people together. They can stay in the house because it's like their houses, they are not around, but it's like too far. When people cry, making noise, that somebody can come, which is and nobody can hear. But it's like nobody hear. That's why a lot of it scared.
So you said that your father, that the place where y'all had the cattle, that was like 3 hours away.
Yeah, where my daddy was. Yeah.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually know and understand that that you guys live right with wildlife, right, with lions and all of those.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something else. So wow, that's a very good story. Your mom, and I know she's passed on, but she was a very, very brave woman, and she made sure that she put herself between the lion and you. That's very, very brave. That's a mother. So wow.
The pandemic brought some changes, but we call on Jesus' name.
Every Tuesday night we were going to the nursing home, trying to spread some light to someone feeling all alone. Did it all that Jesus might get the glory. After all, he opened up this ministry for me, singing songs and clapping as the music played. We were going strong and giving Jesus Christ the praise. Then all of a sudden, this I'm going to give you the floor, and I'm going to ask you to tell your story from the beginning, and of course I will interject with some questions, some things that I myself think should be spoken of just a little bit more. So, William, tell us the story of Lost Boy.
Thank you, Mr. Rick. The Lost Boy of Sudan we have a war between the North and the South. And people from North are Muslim, and people from South are Christian. And that's why we have a war between the North and the South. And Northern Sudan, they want to run the whole country with the Sharia law. And our people, they disagree because you cannot run the country with the Christian and Muslim. Gotta be separate from the government. And they want to rule as a Muslim. They don't want a Christian to rule. And what they did, they want to eliminate the Christian. They don't want to hear about Christian. They want to hear about Muslim. That's why the war started. And when the war started, they want to take the children because the parents, they are not accept, or the people majority in South Sudan, they don't accept And it's the Muslim people or the government say, okay, we're gonna come out with different idea. We take the children, and that's why they attack all the village in the south and kill people and take the children and ban everything. Everybody had the homeless, no house, and they take the cow, they take the goat, and they take the sheep, and that's why we run away, because they want to kill us or they want to take us to be a Muslim.
All that the Lord has done for me, He brings me joy. Think about it. So much joy. When I think about it, all that the Lord has done for me, He brings me joy. Think about it. So much joy.
So, how old were you when all this was going on?
I was sick when I left.
You were 6 years old.
Yeah.
And how did you leave? What was the process of leaving?
Yeah, the way they did when they come, like they attack the village at like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's why everybody run, and they take our village, and they burn houses, and that's why I ran. When I ran, they have a lot of people too attack their village, and they run away. We ran away different direction. Like my parents ran different, my brothers, my sisters, and I ran different. Because when you're sleeping and you hear the sound of gun, I think you can run. You don't wait until you see who shoot the gun. You run away. That's why the way we run.
Okay, so they came at 4 o'clock in the morning around that time, and they came shooting. So you ran in one direction, your sister and your brother ran in another direction, and your parents ran in another direction. So where did you go?
Yeah, I left. When I left, and then I see the people coming too. They're walking to where I think we say, the people say they want to go where the sun rays. That's why we want to go. And we left. We don't know exactly where we're going. And that's why I went with them. And we're walking. And when we walk, because a lot of people like a group, and they say we're going, and I don't know where we're going. And some people say we want to see where the sun rays. That's why we want to go, and that's why I left. I left with them.
Okay, so you left with a group of people.
Yeah.
Where exactly did you go?
We went to neighbor country, Ethiopia, where we went.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
How did you get there?
We walked. It take us 3 months to go to Ethiopia.
So you walked for 3 months.
Yeah.
So where did you walk?
The dozen.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, the dozen, they don't have like mountain or tree. It's only dozen. And his hut, there's no water. We didn't think about the food. We think about the water. And when we walk, a lot of people die on the desert. And the most important is like we're walking like 2 kilometers. And like when we take the break, we sit down. And some people, they cannot work up again because they need water. And most of people, like you going around, maybe you can find the water. And they have a lot of lion around too. You have two enemies, which is you go out over there and you cannot get water. Maybe the lion is gonna kill you, or tiger, or when you come back and you sit down, maybe you're gonna die too. And most of people, anytime we sit down, we went to around and look for the water. Like when somebody find the water, you can bring it. And then some people lay down and you can take the water to put it to you, some in his mouth and then some in his ear, because you cannot give a lot of water, they're going to die. And that's why most people use the urine to drink or to put it in your ear. And that's why a lot of people leave, because you don't know what you drink, is urine or water, but you want to be alive.
So, explain the process again of how they gave you the water.
Yeah, like you go and find some water, you bring it. Like you running and then you bring it to the people that lay down. And when you lay down, you take the water, put it in the ear, and put it in and the head, and put some in his mouth. And some people can get up, and some people cannot get up because they're thirsty. That's the way people did. A lot of people did. Yeah, it's like we work like a team to help one another. It's very important. That's why a lot of people across the desert, because it's like you do by yourself, you cannot do it. And people working together to go and find the water and bring the water, and have other people that lay down. If maybe it's you today, or maybe tomorrow it's me. That's the way it go. And we let a lot of people die on the way because we cannot do anything. It's like there is no water, and we cannot do anything. And it's like we find the water, and then people that have energy, they can go and bring the water and help out those people who lay down. It's not like somebody big or somebody young. The thirst is everybody, and that affects us throughout the desert. And that's why people working to help one another is very important. That we did a lot, and that's why we are across the desert.
So you were walking in the desert for 3 months.
3 months.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And you said there were lions and tigers.
Yeah.
And everything. So, what happened after you got across the desert? And if you could take a thought, like how many people would you say died who left Sudan before y'all got to wherever you were going?
I think they have different group, and our group people die. We don't have exactly the number.
Right, I understand.
Yeah. But what I see is exactly like 7 or 6. I don't know, maybe you lay down and you cannot get up. We try to give the water and you is still down, but we still move. It's still moving. It's like we sit down for one person who die, and we sit down, both of us gonna die. That's why we're moving. When he's like sunning, we sit down. Nobody walk. But when the sun go down, and then that help people. Or morning is cold like night, and we do a lot of work at night. It's like we're working at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where did you wind up when you came through the desert?
Where we went, or where we when we across the desert?
Yes.
Yeah, we went to Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
Yeah, we sit down over there, and there's people say, no, we are not going nowhere. This is a place. And most of us say, well, we didn't see the sun rays where the sun, and we cannot see the sun where exactly sun come out. And when we sit down over there, the UN, the government of Ethiopia, I think they told the UN about the people that across the desert, and they supply us with corn, bean, blanket. We don't have blanket, or we lay down. We don't have blanket or nothing, or we just lay down. And most of them, the blanket is not enough for, and some people use the bag of corn, and then they cut it, and you can cover, like when it's cold or it's rain with no houses, and they bring their camp, like tent, and that's why we stay over there. And we use when it's rain, the one that they bring to us, we use it to cover for the rain.
And how long did you stay in Ethiopia at that camp?
I stay over there like 3 years. Yeah. Stay for 3 years.
So you were in Ethiopia for 3 years, and
Yeah.
then what happened then?
And then the government of Ethiopia, they were rebel against the government too. And when they capture the country, then the new people say they don't need the Sudanese, and that's why we left.
So the company, the rebels came and overtook the government, and then they said they didn't want you guys there. So when you left, where did you go?
We came back to Sudan again.
So you had to cross the desert
Again, yeah. And when we across the desert, I think the government of Sudan, they know that the children of South Sudan is coming back, and like when we're cooking, we don't cook like morning, because they see the smoke for the, like you cooking outside, they see the smoke, but they can bomb you, like the gunship go around, and when they see, they can bomb you. Or you have the red, the clothes which is the red color or the white color, yeah, they can bomb you. That's the way we are clothed. Even you alone, and you have the red color, they can bomb you. And that's why we are crossed the way we are crossed the desert again.
Okay, so you crossed the desert back into Sudan.
Yes.
And then you had to cross the desert again.
We have, I think, between Sudan and Kenya, there is no dozen over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of tree. And when we came back, the war, I think they turned all the militia from north to south. And we see there is still a war. That's why we left again to Kenya. And we stay over there between Kenya and Sudan. And UNHCR, I think United Nations, yeah, they came and supply us with food. It's the same with the corn and bean. That the only that they bring.
Okay, so I just want to take a little bit more time. I know you already explained it, but what were some of the hardships of the 3 months in the desert? What were some of the hardships? What was the hardest part of doing that?
I think the hard part is to walk every day is a hard part, and people die with thirsty. There's no water, and you keep seeing people die every day, and that part is hard too, and that is not happen to every group that across. The same thing happened to them.
Okay, so now you're in Kenya, and the United Nations is giving you provisions. So what happened there?
Yeah, we live in Kenya, in the northern Kenya, which is the place is called Kakuma. It's 3 hours from Sudan border. And we stay over there. And they have like group. And we stay over there in the camp. That's why we went to school. We sit under a tree to, I think when I started school, we sit under a tree. And because it's like there is rain, and we cannot go to school because we sit under a tree. And UN supply that they did the building for the school, and we have a lot of lost boys. They have like every group have a school. I think we are like 19 group that apart from the community. They separate the young children in like minor, and they build up to 19 school, and you can go to a school that close to you, your school. And that's why we live, that's the way we live in Kenya. And we went to school, and nobody was working. We go to school in Kenya. And when they come, the United Nations say, where these children, where their parents and their mother, and they say they don't know. When they have Kenyan people, most of Kenyan people are like, they're working. When they supply us with the food, they have people that arrange. We can get a corn and a bean. I think they pay us every 2 weeks, yeah. Every 14 days, they supply us with corn and bean. And life is still difficult because you eat that food for 14 days. You can finish that one before 14 days, and you wait until they supply that again.
how long did you stay in Kenya, and what happened after that?
We came in 92, and we stayed in camp for all until when United Nations said they want to take the children to America, and that's why we went. Like you tell them what the life story was, why you left Sudan, and you tell them, and you can have they set interview like 3 different branch or 3 different departments. When you pass, and then they say you pass, which is you can go to America. And most of people pass, tell them exactly what happened, and they left. That's why they arrange. Let me go back. They start process in 98, 97, 98, and sometimes they say no. But when we did it, they start to bring people like they did a cleaning, and then we start like 2,000 people that are underage. They start to come here in 2000, and people that who pass like 18 and 19. Yeah, they start 2001.
Okay. So what happened when you got into the United States?
When I came here in 2001, May 2nd. And then I came to Greensboro on May 3rd, 2001.
That's Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah. And they have church, which is Lutheran family. They have Lutheran here in Greensboro, and they have Water Leaf in High Point. And the time we came, what Lutheran did is they find a church like our church. We were 5 of us who were responsible for our church. And both of them, they went to airport, and Mama Linda she's the one who introduced herself to us, the first person when we came here. He received us from airport, and they rent the apartment for 3 months. The church rent apartment for 3 months before we get paperwork like Social Security. After that, they can find a job. Because we don't have a car, we don't have nothing. They can take us, apply for the interview, and then after that, you find a job. They show you how you get to the work. You go to the bus, and then from there, the bus takes you to work. And they pay our apartment for 3 months. We were 5 of us. Five people.
And how old were you then? How old were you then?
I think 21.
Oh, he's 21?
21, yeah. Yeah.
So you was 21 when you came
to
America?
Yeah.
And you were 6 years old when you left Sudan?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time. How was life between 6 and 21?
The life was hard from 6. Well, I think we were growing while we were working. I don't exactly know which country I grew up, Ethiopia or Kenya or Sudan or America. Yeah. But when the life here in America is different from Ethiopia, from Kenya, or from Sudan, which is here you can go to work and you can pay your rent, you buy what you need, your clothes. But in Kenya, we wait for UN to give us supply. What they give us is what we take. Yeah, that they are the way. But when we came here, the church give us the clothes, shoes. Even they give us everything before we get here. And Mom Linda, what she did, she arranged with the church. Like this person can take her to church this week, then to next week, and then another person. And she come every evening. She come to our apartment, and who have appointment. It was part of us. Yeah, and she arranged all appointments. She make appointment.
And what was her name again?
William.
No, the name of the person.
Oh, Linda Anderson.
Oh, Linda Anderson.
Is our sponsor when we come.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Catherine. They are two of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So have you been back to Sudan since you left?
I went back in 2009. When I went back 2009, it was, I know in my mind that our home, but I don't know how to get there. And one of my uncle's son, he came, and they say, yeah, I'll take you home. And we went home. That one take her there, because it was January when I went 2009, and they have a lot of water. We have like plot land, and the water, when the River Nile is flooding the water, and they go where the low, the slope land, and our area have water, and I walk, I think like 3-4 hours before I get out home. And they have water like, I took my clothes up, and they bring my clothes with my luggage with the somebody say he's gonna bring them like boat. Yeah, it take 2 days to get the boat to our area. And I stay over there up to, I think it was 2 months, yeah. And my mom was over there, my dad. I stay like 25 days. Even she told my mom, my dad, she told me last time. He said, my uncle children were they took them when they burned houses. Yeah, they took them to the north, and their houses was not too far from our house. And my brother came back in 94. He went home, but my mom say, my uncle said that we want to go because we want to move to somewhere. My mom, my dad, they want to move somewhere, and my dad say no. And they say when it's like we leave, like when we come back, or God bring them back, how they gonna know where we are? And my daddy didn't move. They stay at home. They keep. My daddy built the house. That house they burned like 10 times, and every time the northern militia come and burn houses, he built it again. And he told me that they did like 10 times. They built everything. Then when they came, the northern Malaysia, they burn everything and take the cow again. And he didn't go nowhere. He come back and build a house. And my dad say, like when they come back, that's why my brother show up in 94. And then I show up in 2009. And when I went, my sister too, he was not over there yet. And I didn't meet her when I went back in 2000 no, when I went back 2009, I didn't meet my sister. I met everybody, but I didn't meet my sister. When I went back in 2000 last year, that's the time that I met my sister. And my sister called me. She said, I want to go to her house. I think like maybe 4 hours, 5 hours. And I said, no, we want to meet where we born. And that's why she said, okay, is that good too. That she come home. And we sit over there. I think she sleep over there. Then she went back to the house, the plate. And then I say, okay, when I leave here, I'm gonna go. I went over there too. Then I sleep one night and then I left.
Okay, so we have to close this meeting, but I know that when you were when you sent me a couple photos, you sent me photos from with where you guys were around or where they were around the airplane, and then you sent me a photo where people were waving at the airplane. What exactly was going on at that time?
Yeah, that place is Kenya, which is the Kakuma in northern Kenya, which is the province is called Rift Valley, in the northern Kenya, border with Sudan or South Sudan. And the time that we left the camp, anytime the group that leave the camp, their people or their family, they take him to the airport. And some people cry, and some people weeping. Every time they have group that is scheduled that leave the camp, yeah, their people or their family, they go in airport, and they take him to the airport, and that's why a lot of people weeping. Every time they schedule, and then they wave the plane, and the plane left the camp, then went to Kenya International, which is Nairobi. Yeah.
Okay, so people were waving goodbye to family members and people that they spent a long time with while they were in Kenya.
Yeah, most of people say they are not going to come back when they come to America. Yeah, they are not going to come back, but a lot of people went back to see the family. Like myself, I went back to see where I left when I was sick, and I want to see exactly who is still over there. And when I had my uncle, my daddy, the people that were close to our home, and they say these people die. That's why I stopped asking people. Even I have one of my uncle in my daddy's side, and there is his son. He was with her, but he left in desert when people cannot make it. But I tried to go to meet their mom and dad, but I didn't get the time to go, and he's not too far, maybe like 45 minutes or 30 minutes, and I didn't get a time to get.
Okay, so in closing, if you wanted to finalize your story and to, what is it that you really want people to remember about your story, or what is it that you really want people to know? I mean, we've heard the story, and it was a story of very hard times walking through the deserts and being without your family, having to leave without your family, not knowing where you were going. So what would you like to say just to end this story?
I want to let people know about my life story, that where I went through, and to be strong too, that to tell people what would happen to you, and people can remember the place that you went and you make it through. We blessed, we were blessed to work together to cross the desert, that to take care of one another. It was big, or was very important, that part, that we help one another, and that's why we across the desert.
Night, we were going to the nursing home, trying to spread some light to someone feeling all alone. Did it all that Jesus might get the glory. After all, he opened up this ministry for me, singing songs and clapping as the music played. We were going strong and giving Jesus Christ the praise. Then all
Yeah.
So as far as northern Sudan and southern Sudan, can you tell me like what is the difference between the two, and just tell me a little bit about Sudan as a whole.
Yes, Sudan is, first of all, the whole Sudan is the biggest country in Africa, which is the first large country in Africa, followed by Algeria, which is the second one. And northern Sudan are Muslim, and part of East are Christian or Muslim, and West is Muslim, and South is they are Christian, and South have a lot of different tribes. I think the whole Sudan have like 500 different tribes, both northern Sudan, and they have different dialect, and people communicating with Arabic. Arabic is like first language for everybody.
Okay.
But each tribe have their own. They have their own dialect, and people communicate with Arabic and English.
Okay.
That's the main language in Sudan.
Okay.
And Sudan is, they have like 64 tribes.
Wow.
In the south, only south alone. Yeah. They have different tribes, and they have they communicate with Arabic, but some group, some tribe, they can talk, but you cannot hear, unless you learn. But they have like intermarriage between tribe and tribe. Yeah, You can learn, or the woman can learn. Women can marry to another tribe, and he can learn their language. But they still communicate Arabic. Like you go to the town, which is everybody to come to the town, like Capital City, Juba. Yeah, they speak Arabic and English. Some people born like the kid born here or born in a different world, which is like Australia, Canada, American. Their parents are Denka, or some are Nuer or different tribe, but they cannot understand their tribe, and they can speak English like they speak English here or Canada, but they didn't speak like my kid. They speak a little bit, but it's not Denka or Arabic. Yeah, but most of them they speak Denka and Arabic and English.
So you're saying Dinka? That's the tribe that.
Yeah, that's our tribe, and that is the big tribe in Sudan.
Dinka.
Yeah, Dinka, followed by Nuer. Yeah, but Dinka is the majority. And
so what's the okay? So if I was to go to Sudan right now, would I be able to just go from the south to the north and from the north to the south?
Yeah, you can go, but you gotta have a passport. Like people from south, they go to north with the passport. Then people from north, they come to south, they have passport. But before was you can around Sudan, and the capital city was one, which is Khartoum. Even most people who were born in the north, but they from south, they still get the South Sudan passport.
Okay.
That's the way you can go to north. Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest difference between North Sudan and South Sudan? And how long have they been? Well, I know you're not really old.
No, yeah, I still have
how long have they been separated, or what caused them to separate?
Oh, the people from South Sudan, they were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they fighting. They started a movement against the northern Sudan, and they started the war in 1983.
Oh, okay.
May 16.
Mm-hmm.
That the day that South Sudan, they say not is enough, because what the people from north do, you go to north, or you in army and you want to like move up, they say no, you retire. They give you retire. You from south, you are not a Muslim, you cannot get a job, and they can give you retire. But they have all the sources, all the oil, gold in the south, and they put it all the factory in the north.
Wait a minute. So you said they have all the gold and stuff in the south.
Yeah.
But they built all the factories in the north.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like, so what is the South able to do with all of those resources?
Because the government is from north, and he put everything on the north, which is like you want to talk that the one that you are doing is not good. Maybe you are not going to be there tomorrow. And most of sort like they do the meeting in a private way. How are we going to do this? And they agree. They talk to people in general, the people in army, They say, what are we going to do? Because the first they did Addis Ababa, they did 1972, they were have rebel outside against the government from South. And the government say, okay, come on, we'll give the South their right. And when they came in, they didn't get the right. It's still they're doing the same thing. And one of our people is the general, and he said, no, these are enough. And so they say, who's going to start? They don't know who's going to start, who want to fight first, how we're fighting. And when they're talking in private, and they say, okay. But they didn't pick the date when they're going to start. And one of our people, general, he started. And then people come out. And all the South people saw, yeah, they come out. Unless somebody that they don't have way to come. Because like people in the North, they don't have way to come to South. But they start as South, which is in the South, that's where the war start. And they bring all the military from North to South. People in the North, they don't know what's going on in South Sudan. And they have war. And since 1983, like they're fighting. And they're fighting, they send military to South. Even they have a lot of from South, they are in the North, but they are in school. Before you go to before you go to college, you got to go to war against South. And then when you come back, you go to college. Or you die. And the mother of Southerners, they don't have shot. They live in the North, they don't have shot. They go and fight with brother. And that's why the Northern get strong, bring people to war. And our people been fighting, like capture the place, capture the town, and that's why they start the war.
Oh, okay. So, in closing,
it's 21 years before they get independent. It started in 1983 until 2005, where
when they got their independence.
They got what they do. They put President Bush, which is calling power word over there, and Bush say you need to make sure the South and North sign agreement that they're going to live for 6 years. It's like they're going to decide to join together or separate.
Oh, okay.
And most of our people say no, we separate. Enough is enough, we separate. And that's why we get in the country. Yeah. But it took a lot of life. People die. A lot of people died from 83 until 2005. They have a lot of people die. War. Yeah.
Okay, so in closing, before we go to a new segment, like what would you like to say about Sudan as a whole, just to finish this part right here?
I think now we got a country, and that's why everybody, there is the people fighting using gun, and there are people who talk to let people know that there is a war in Sudan. Like when we came here, a lot of people here, they don't know what's going on really. But when we came here, had the lost boy, and all United States, everybody have idea what was the problem between the northern and the southern, and between the Christian and Muslim. That was the majority. But when we get our independence, which is that's why we're fighting for, to get you gonna be free. When you have your own country, you can be free. You can say what you want to say, or you want to say what, up to you. And that is the main thing, was to get a country. And now we get a country.
Okay, so we're thankful that we were able to talk to Mr. William Ring Ayuel, one of the original Lost Boys who had to flee from Sudan because of the government coming and burning their houses, and he was able to flee. And he was separated from his brothers and sisters and parents, but thank God that at the end he was able to meet out with them. So we're happy to have this story. We're blessed to be able to talk to William. We're blessed to be able to talk to him because he made it through. He made it through those times. So this is Richard Taylor and Mr. William Ring Ayuel signing off, and hoping that you have enjoyed this story. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When I think about it, all that the Lord has done for me, He brings me joy. Think about it, so much joy. When I think about it, all that the Lord has done for me, He brings me joy. Think about it, so much joy. To tell the truth, sometimes it feels like I might lose my mind. Sometimes life can be so cruel that
Going to the nursing home, trying to spread some light to someone feeling all alone.